Hey guys, this is Shane. Welcome to my Curator of the Lost channel. Today I'm going to go over the finds from this really tough estate sale that I just went to yesterday. But really more than just the book haul, I think this video is going to what I'm going to try to do is show, because it was kind of tough cherry picking kind of things. I wanted to at least kind of give you some background on some of the reasons I picked certain books. And I think especially for new sellers, people that are out there trying to find things, maybe this kind of discussion, not just here's what I found, but here's why I picked this one out of this massive stuff. It could be useful. So, hey, with that, I appreciate the views. I look forward to your comments and things that work for you. And as always, subscribe. We'll keep doing this, see what happens. So, with that, let's jump right in. So, yeah, I posted a couple of shorts. I went to an estate sale yesterday, and it was huge. And it was a cold day, but it was nice and sunny after this crazy week of weather we had here in Alabama. And it was weird because you got two numbers. You had to go in from either the basement or from the upstairs. And I got two numbers, and I decided to go into the basement because the guy told me there was this whole thing of shelves of books there. It turns out that the upstairs had probably more books in them. But these books were really difficult to find, to pick, right? Because first off, the estate sale wanted $4 each for them, which is really pricey. And I think on anybody's, there are a lot of books there. These old engineering, old textbooks. There can be some true gold there, but there's a lot of duds too. There's a lot of stuff that only sells, $5, $6, maybe $10. And if you're paying $4 each for them, and then you put your fees and your time, and some of them are not going to sell quick, it's just not worth, for me, it's not worth making, just a couple of bucks on it. I really want a bigger win on these types of books. But, it was really tough. I didn't have much competition in the books. It was really a digger, picker type sale. And I'll cut through and let me show you first kind of the layout of what, how it was. And I'll show you some pictures of how everything was. And then we'll jump into what I found, what I picked, the cherry picks I got from this. So let's do that. My clicker's broke, so I'm going to have to reach up here and cycle it this way. So here's the house, and like I said, you had to take two numbers. You could either go in for the front porch for the main part of the house, or they had a basement and they had the stairs blocked off, and you went through the garage into the basement, and luckily that was HVAC controlled. But you can see all the shelves, books, and all these are engineering, math, technical books. There was a side room back here that had a few of the car books. This was a picker digger sale. It was just stuff everywhere in this basement. It was just actually overwhelming in a way. Here's a pile of cigar boxes, wooden cigar boxes, and everybody was leaving them because I think they wanted too much for them. And another view of all those like I said, there's probably 1,000 books. This was another little side room in the basement. I found a couple of things there. There's bikes, other just stuff. The guy was into Mustangs. There's a couple of Mustangs for sale, and had a lot of old like fenders and hubcaps in the garage. And then as you moved upstairs, see there's shelves, there's books just piled on the floor, stacked up. Another room with more shelves of books and magazines, technical journals, just over and over. Then yet there was another room look, they just have them piled in the floor. Just amazing stuff. All right, so that gives you the lay of the land. Like I said, there was one as a basement area, and luckily it was a HVAC controlled basement. So it wasn't, if they were all out in the garage, I think all those books downstairs would have been ruined. And quite frankly, I could have spent the entire day going through these one at a time. At some point, you just become blind to it. And I think it's a good point at the very beginning to say, as a new bookseller, as a new book buyer, if that's you, you see these YouTube videos, and we all get on here and, hey, here's what I found, and it might look easy. And when you get out there and you feel overwhelmed, and you're like, how did somebody, do this? Well, first off, you just develop that skill, right? It's a little bit of muscle memory in your brain. It's a little bit, you have a knack for it, or you can learn it. You learn genre, some of the things I'm going to go through, but sometimes it is just a grind. And when you get in sales like this and books like this, I'm certain I left gold on there in those shelves. But I did what I could do with the time I had in my morning, and quite frankly, just being just tired of it. And at $4 a piece, just like, look, I talked to them. I'm gonna try to make a deal and come back later. So we'll see what happens. So let's jump into what I found. So, okay, so first off, this Machinery's Handbook. This is an easy one. I saw this. I've sold it, even though this is the 14th edition. I've sold like 3 of these. This is a $15 to $30 book. Usually more in that 25 to 30 range. I've sold 3 or 4 of these in the last year. If I see these, I buy them. So that was the first one. It was easy. All right. Then I found this Ford Cobra guide. Again, this one has sold comps. First off, the subject matter, Ford, the Cobra, Cobra Mustang kind of, it's a no-brainer, really. It's old. It was in good shape. I have $25 and $30 sold comps on this all day long, so this is easy. Then there were certain ones, like here's one, this Advanced Dynamics by this Timchenko. I've sold his books before, so I recognized him from a technical perspective. I recognized his name. It drew me to this, but this book shows you a great example. Look, it's old. There's no UPC codes. There's nothing to even use the Amazon photo scanner on. You have got to type this in, and the author, and you put Advanced Dynamics, you're going to get a lot of hits. You're going to have to type in Advanced Dynamics and the author's name to get a shot at this. It shows how hard it is. So I knew this. I picked it. It's a solid, this one is just in my cheat sheet. This is a solid 25 bucks. It's in great condition, and for $4, it was a good deal. So then here was another one. Again, subject matter. I didn't even look this up. I knew I was going to get it even at $4. Turns out that I have, it's like no sold comps, but I have list comps on this hardback for like $120. So it's going to be a great find. Here's another one that I didn't even look up. It's this paperback. Paperbacks were $2, although there were some paperbacks she gave them to me for $1. I ended up buying 25 books. Spent like $82 for them. That's what I spent on this sale. But this is it's like a pristine, this Mustang and Ford small block V8. This is 20 to 25 bucks. I got it for $2. So another one here was this book on Kalman filtering. This is a list between 50 and 100 bucks. This was a no-brainer for me because I had already seen this one of these at probably a few months ago at my library bookstore and already done comps on it. So it was something I had in my brain, right? Another thing that would cue me off on this, though, sometimes when I'll see like IEEE Press, versus some, whatever, McGraw-Hill or something. IEEE Press, when I saw those, it's like something I might go to. But I don't think I'll get $100 for this. I think I'll probably get about 40 for it. Still, good return. Here's one that it was just the title. This, electro-hydraulic control systems, electro-hydraulic, anything that's machinery, hydraulics related. A lot of times those, I found I have good luck with those. I know sold comps on this, but I found list comps for $85. So even if I get $50 for this, I'm in good shape. So now here was one that I knew a little bit about. I know this is good subject matter guidance on the principles of guided missile design. It's an older book from the late 50s. I actually have sold comps on this book for $115. So, well, it was it was sold best offer. So I don't know what the best offer was, but it was $115 listed. So this book by itself, if I get $100 for it, like with that sold comp, I have made my $82 investment back on one book. So the rest is gravy. But this one that was easy, this was one I just knew I wanted, but when I checked, I didn't even look it up. I knew I was going to get it. But then just because I know this subject matter, right? But when I looked it up when I got home, that was a good sold comp. Here was one that I was interested in. This Heaviside, it's like of Oliver Heaviside. It's like a biography. Again, IEEE Press, perfect condition. Doesn't even look like it's even been read. And I have sold comps of 25 to 65. So this was kind of weird because it's not necessarily a math book. It's like a biography of this, mathematician, physicist, right? And it just was just something that would draw me to it, right? To make me pick it up. That's why there's that one. All right, so this one you're gonna get a kick out of, and you're gonna see how my brain works a little bit. And all right, this if you're getting new into this, you'll see how I would say I'm an experienced thrift book reseller. Sometimes we can all be dumb, right? All right, I looked this up. It was in a stack in the floor. I saw this and I said, rayonets. What is that? That's cool. Rayonets, and it had these swords on it. I'm like, okay, well, I couldn't find any sold comps on. I couldn't find any comps on this. Rayonets, So I'm like, whatever. I'm still gonna get it. $4. I'm still gonna get it. Look, this book, Rayonets. It's not rayonets. It's bayonets. So it's $30 to $35. I bought it. I didn't even open it up to see, that there are drawings of bayonets, which is really cool. Like from some guy's collection. My brain in this sale, it just shows how tired I was after, I probably spent like 3 hours total, two and a half hours probably total on this. Counting probably 3 hours if you count that I got there to get my number and then I was like in the house a couple hours. I guess it shows how just totally brain dead I was at this point. I thought this was Rayonets. So anyway, I got it. It's really bayonets. It's got $30, $35 sold comps. It's pretty. Anyway, so if you're out there trying to find books and you're getting frustrated and you can't do it, just remember that Shane bought a book for $4 on something called Rayonets that he had no idea what it was, but it all worked out. All right, so here's one, and I think this is one I just happened to look up. I think the guy's name kind of, this was there was nothing distinct about this, but this was just one a pure lookup. And what's crazy about it is I think the reason I bought it was I only found one comp. It was Amazon, and it was $700. This is not a $700 book. I found it on ABE later. It's more like a $30 book, so still it'll be good. But the reason I picked it at the time was that the hit that I got was on Amazon. It was the only one. It's way overinflated, but it'll still sell. It'll be a good $30 book. All right, these next two are kind of cool. There's this one book. It's on the fundamentals of quantum mechanics by this guy Fock, and then a brief course, in this theory of functions of real variables. Now, here's what set me off on these. First off, I remember this from some classes years ago about something like a Fock integral, and always, your mind can tell you where that goes, right? And so it made me remember it. But then the big kicker, let's look here on the edge. Do this a lot. This is a good way to do it. Look, this mirror. This is this publishing. You can see it. You can see it kind of on the bottom. You can see it better here on the front. Mirror publishing. That's where some of these old. It was really Soviet, Soviet era, old mathematicians, old engineering text. They published them. This Mirror Publishing, Moscow. You can see that. So when I see something like that, I know it's something I want because there are translated editions. They're hard to find. They can be really good. This is a $65 to $85 book, okay? And then here was this other one, and this is something that it's about a $40 book. But when I picked it up, I saw it on the edge. But then when I picked it up, and I see this kind of funky cover like this, and it's in a math book, I'm like, this has got to be something, right? So again, publisher, just the style, not even that it's on this functions of real variables, but just the style. I mean, look at that. That has to give you a sense of this is like a small publisher, kind of a focused thing, right? And that doesn't guarantee that it's going to be worth something, but that's how my mind works when I'm picking this stuff up. Here's one that I just, this Theodore von Karman, and it just struck me, The Wind and Beyond. I've got, this is like a $40 book. I got this one on, again, whenever I see something on precision manufacturing, precision, like metal milling, things like that, I'll look at it. This little book here is, it's $30. So that was a good one. Here's one that was probably, I have sold comps on this at 18 to 30. And what got me on this is I look at things as non-linear, right? Anything that's non-linear, if you study any kind of sciences, engineering, it's like a lot of things. You learn the easy stuff first, stuff that's linear, something that's well-behaved systems, and then when you go to these non-linear functions or non-linear sciences, it's often more, graduate PhD level when you start getting into some of that stuff. So what that means is, let's kind of think about it, the difference between addition and subtraction, versus going up to algebra to calculus. You start getting into these real focused theories. So, this is one that's probably on the lower end. I did see pricing on this down to like 18 up to 30, so it'll still be good. But talking about like how I look at this kind of focused, like really like advanced books, and in my mind, some of these advanced, these advanced kind of theories and things for math, it's a smaller and smaller audience, which can impact your sales, but it's the scarcity of the book and sometimes the value of the book. Here's one for Pfaff's problem and its generalization. This, just by the name of that, that's really, there's probably not a lot of these, right? And there's a great thing on this. Sometimes I may have to pull it out. It's reading about the Pfaff's problem, but it's all about how you do layers, organized boundary layers, and it's pretty cool stuff. But this is a $30 book. Here's one. Actually, I think this was the first one I picked up, and I've got $20 to $50 comps on it. This electrical network theory, real nice copy of that one. Then another quantum mechanics book, and this one is priced all over the place. I see 15 to 80 bucks on this one. So this is probably one of the lower wins. Probably get 20, 25 bucks for this one. And then here's another nonlinear oscillations. This is from the Kyoto University in Japan. So that one struck me. I have comps on this one from $28 to $43. So good there. And then here's another one talking about, I mentioned this one in the short. This is the only comp I can find on this Hamilton-Jacobi theory, this mathematical text. It's like 420 bucks on Amazon. So the reason I picked this though is, again, it's a really super specialized thing. It's I don't know how many there might be. Are there 100 people in the world that would be interested in this? I don't know, but if it's going to be hard to find. It's kind of specialized. It's high-level graduate kind of stuff. This is the sort of thing that draws my eye. It's kind of the thinking in my mind. Then after I'd found that one, and with that big soul comp, I saw this other one that had Hamiltonian mechanics, and this one turns out to have $50 to $120 comps on it. So I picked this one because I'd already found the other one, so I was learning as I go. Okay, so that's it. That's what I bought. It's roughly 25 items. So $82, 25 items, $3 to $4 is per item. If I hit any of these sold comps, I'm going to cover that, and then the rest is profit. So I have potentially for hundreds of dollars of profit here. This sale, again, I'm going to try, they're skipping a week, which is good because I'm going to be out of town. So hopefully I'll keep the videos kind of coming. I've, got some thinking about that I can post while I'm out of town, or maybe I'll have something from the road. But when I get back that weekend, they're having the second weekend, and they'll start doing discounts. Even at $2 a book, there's a lot of those books I wouldn't want to deal with. But I talked to the lady, and I'm gonna try to get try to make her a deal if she's got a bunch left. And I have a feeling she's gonna have a ton of books left, because literally, if there was one, there were 1,000 books there. So anyway, that's it. Lots of stuff. Gives you, with Rayonets and, Hamiltonians, how my brain works sometimes, but gives you some feedback on this was a tough situation. And so just remember, again, when you get into these sales and it's tough, or you get into a thrift store and you feel like that you don't know what's going on, it happens. Okay. So just, just keep plugging away, keep learning, and you'll get it. So that's it. I look forward to your comments. Again, subscribe, and, happy hunting. Buy them, list them, sell them. We'll see you later. Bye.